Hello, Lionel. I'm here for the sports on radio. I will not ask you to confirm the team. I know you want to do that, the lineup. But I want to ask you, how much do you value this match against Canada? And what is your opinion on the opponent that the world champion will have? Well, good afternoon, everyone. I will confirm the starters in the evening today. I will first disclose it to my team, as usual. Canada is a great team. They have amazing players. They have a new coach with new ideas and a new game plan. And in the last World Cup, it played well. It didn't have the luck it should have. But it is a tough opponent, and we cannot take anything for granted. It is a complicated opponent and a tough opponent, and we need to prepare for our match. We know it is the opener, and that is very relevant. Claudio Giglioni, Cadena 3, Argentina. Pleasure to greet you. I wanted to ask, Lionel, how are we getting here as a national team? What do you think about this tournament? What do you think about the pitch? And for Leandro Paredes, what does this challenge mean? We know we have achieved many things, but there are many dreams ahead as well. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's very nice to take on Copa America. The challenge is always interesting. Being in the national team, representing an entire country, for us, it is very important, and we hope we can start on the right foot. Well, we have a clear idea, and we understand the level of difficulty that this tournament poses, so we'll try to do our best as usual. We'll try to do what we think is the best for the team right now, and it will be a very tough tournament as usual in the case of Copa America. I haven't been to the pitch yet, Claudio. I've seen it from the outside, but the technical staff saw it this morning, the coaching staff, and they say that they will improve. They have changed it yesterday because, as you know, it's a synthetic turf. And, well, things here happen very fast, and I hope that it is in good condition for the sake of football itself. Good afternoon. Francisco Villalobos, Televisa, United States. Leandro, first of all, the keys for the success for a team that does not have the track record that Argentina has. But, you know, sometimes they can make it difficult for the Argentina national team. And Coach, do you have the entire staff you wanted? And in CONCACAF, it is said that for both the CONCACAF and the national teams, it's a good thing to play against CONMEBOL teams. So what do you take as a positive thing of playing against teams like Mexico, Canada, the US? Well, to us, every opponent is the same. We try to represent our national team in the best of ways to take on every match, deploying everything the coach wants, concreting all the ideas. And of course, every opponent has different features, positive, negative, or weaknesses, strengths, and we try to take them on with our ideas and our capability. Well, yes, they are all available for the match tomorrow, and the decision or the outcome will be in favor of the best. And what is the advantage of playing against CONCACAF for us? Well, it's like playing against European teams. These teams are great, and I always say that we need to defeat the opponents, knowing from our place as the Argentina national team, what to do and taking the opponent with caution. Hola, Leandro, Leonel, Diego Monroy from ESPN. One question for each. Leonel?
En busca de la característica de tu 9 o del acompañante de Messi,
when you try to find your 9 or someone to play with Messi and the midfielders, or based on the midfield that you want, and also taking into account the opponent, how do you end up defining that 9? Because we're always making wrong conclusions, but in the case of Di Maria and Messi, many a time Julian is there, and when Nicolás is there, we could have Lautaro. So what is your take on that? The one that plays is the one that we think must play, regardless of the teammate. They all have played together. Lautaro played with Messi, with Carboni. I don't see any other grounds for that decision, but we think about the opponent and we try to come up with the best team. It does not have to do with the game plan between the forwards and the midfield. We always think it based on the match. Darío Dex for BN Sports. First of all, thank you for everything you gave us as Argentinians. Some players mentioned that the final against Brazil was more difficult than the final match against France in Qatar. And I want to know, what is your take on that final match after the goal by Angelito, by Angel Di Maria? And what did you reflect on that goal? Can you remember what you were thinking at that time? Thank you. Well, with all due respect, we're talking about the past, and the past is in the past. It was very beautiful, but I think we need to think about what comes next. And every football match is different. There are no identical matches, and then you can think about a game plan, but when the match develops, things can change regarding the level of difficulty posed by Brazil or France. It could be the same in the case of Canada or not. Many a time it depends on what we do, and some others it depends on the hurdles that the opponent creates for you. So I wouldn't classify them as easier or more difficult. And yeah, thinking about reflecting on the goal, it was beautiful, but it's in the past. Okay, Octavio Patit for Relatores with Victor Hugo. Leandro, Lionel. I wanted to ask Lionel, what are your football conclusions on the friendlies in Chicago and Washington, and if those conclusions made you change any pieces for tomorrow's game, and ask you maybe about what do you think about ball carrying with the center backs, and then I have a question for Leandro. As to the conclusions for both games, I think we performed well. That was our aim. We had some doubts and we solved them. That was of the essence. And in the case of our center backs, well, not only the ball carrying, first they have to defend. That is essential, of utmost relevance. That is the main thing. Then we'll see. Leandro, briefly, can you share a reflection on Garnacho and Carboni, that are the young players in the team, the youngest players? How do you see them when they train, and you being a referent? What do you think? Well, I think they have a great future ahead. I hope they can continue to grow, to learn, that they keep their mindset. That will for sure make them grow, and hopefully we can make them feel comfortable and they can grow with us. Manuel Olivari for Telefe. It's a 4-year anniversary of the debut tournament of this cycle in Brazil in Copa America. So what is your takeaway or your stock take? What is your analysis of these 4 years beyond all the titles that were achieved? Well, beyond those titles that you mentioned, we have really enjoyed the cycle. Leandro has always been with us in the team, and it's a great pleasure to see them train, see them play, see everything they give to the game. And I think it is the key element. They have really enjoyed these years together, and that brings us to the expected outcomes. And when we don't achieve those outcomes, it's okay, because we have shown that even in 2019, when we didn't win in the Cup, we remain as a great national team, and that we can achieve things without being champions. And the word process right now, that it is tough to use in the football world, is something that we have achieved. We are part of a process. We got to know each other, to just look at each other and understand each other, and I think that is a great outcome. Lionel, Jonathan, for Mundial de Fondo, Canal 26, working with this answer that you just shared with us. 5 years ago, you were being assessed by the journalists regarding la Copa America. So, in that line, what did you enjoy the most in this process? And what does the Scaloni today say to the Scaloni in the Copa America 2019? Yesterday, with the coach staff, we were discussing the team that we came up with. Then we were seeing the players that we still have with us, our game plan then and our game plan now. But I want to maybe commend the coach staff because they started to understand and learn what the players need on the pitch, not what the coach needs, what the head coach needs. When I started studying to become a coach, I had fixed ideas, and I knew that the player was the most important individual in this game. But of course, the head coach has its own print, its own ideas, and we realized that we had to balance that. And it was there were two questions, right? Yeah. Sorry, we cannot hear if they don't use the microphone. Well, the focus is always the same. It doesn't change. With all due respect, playing a friendly against Guatemala, we could feel that. That thing that we like, the enthusiasm. You are playing with your national team, and that is the way to go. This is why I decided to become a coach after 21 years playing football. And the way in which we like to do this is by being nervous and taking on other national teams and really enjoying the journey. Leandro, we see from the outside that no one is relaxing, that we're always thinking about the next challenge, that they are all thinking about winning again. Within the team, what signs do you see that make you believe that you're on the right path? I think the mindset that we have as a group, the coach staff also keep us really hyped. It's very important to be at 100% so that we can walk together. Yes, Miguel, yesterday I was sharing an example with the players. I told them I liked how they were training, and it is very difficult for a coach to see 11 play when you have 26. And the 26 deserve to play. We have amazing footballers, subs, and that depends on how each player trains, on them showing that they don't want to lose their spot. And I think that is the foundation. Those are the bases. We have those foundations, and the most important thing is to be respectful of our teammates that are on the bench, that they are as important, more important, because they have to train on a Friday maybe or on the next day, even when they have not played in the match. You might say, oh, I'm giving my everything. Well, but you have to show that in every training, and they do show that. Micheliano for Michi Time, good afternoon. PJ Sports, I have one question, Leandro, and one question for Lionel. What can you highlight from this version of the national team, having been in other editions, and what are the challenges you can highlight as well? And Lionel, what does it mean for you to lead after the level of success with the Finalísima, the Copa America, and the World Cup? Having this edition as the one that could be the last for Messi or even Di Maria. Well, in my case, I would like to repeat that it's the mindset. We want to continue competing. We want to be at 100% in our prime, achieving great results. It's very important to us in this national team wearing our shirt. And we share it with amazing players, extraordinary people, so we're just enjoying. Well, and for me, I take great pride in representing as a head coach my national team. I am eager, as I was the first time, with renewed ideas, and we want to provide for the crowds that they can see this team play in a football game plan that they identify themselves, and sometimes it's tricky in football. Not always the best one wins, but we always want to make people enjoy it. That is our goal. Lionel Gaston Noble for Partex Sports. Two questions. First, do you think Enzo Fernandez is ready to play 90 minutes? You have been adding minutes for him in the friendlies, but do you think that he's ready for a full match? And Lisandro Martinez, he's a player that has been in many tournaments. He was called, but sometimes the position is already covered. Do you think he'll have a chance to be a starter? Well, Enzo, I don't remember how many minutes, but he played several minutes. But he's fine, and we'll see if he plays tomorrow. But he's in a condition to be a starter, and same for Lisandro. I think he's in the condition for being a starter, but we'll see that tomorrow, how we go out to the field. Lionel Hernán Claus for Diario Le. In the last press conferences, you mentioned you didn't agree with some statements regarding Di Maria or Messi reaching the 2026 World Cup. Is it nostalgia? Is it concern? Well, I'm not concerned. I don't think... I think it's a nonsense to start discussing what will happen when they are not here. Let's enjoy them now. Leandro, how did you reach this tournament? Because right now you had a great season in La Roma. How are you preparing for it? Well, with the same enthusiasm, the same level of responsibility. I feel very well. I feel very fit for these football matches, and I hope that, as I mentioned, we can start on the right foot tomorrow. Ana Jurka for Fox Sports. The same question for both.
Thinking about tomorrow night's game. Wait a minute, I need to put it there. Oh, no. I can translate for you. Lo puedo decir en inglés y en español.
Mejor, muy bien.
Okay. Thinking about tomorrow night's game, how dangerous it is to face an opponent that you're not familiar, like you're not used to play against on a regular basis. ¿Qué tan difícil es enfrentar a un oponente al que no estás acostumbrado a enfrentar regularmente?
How difficult it is to take on an opponent that you are not used to play against? For both. Okay, the level of difficulty is that you are playing against a national team. When you play against a national team, that includes the best players in a country. And I think we had seldom matches together, but of course the level of difficulty is very high, and it's the opener of a tournament, so we know we need to be ready because they can create difficulties for us. I agree. We've analyzed Canada in videos, and we know the level of difficulty this match can pose. Adrián Drusi for Multimedios Aire de Santa Fe. Much was discussed about what happened and what could happen in this tournament. What differences, if any, can you find in your journey full of success to take on the next matches? Some colleagues were asking regarding players that won't be playing any longer. So when you look back, there was a great harvest, right? What is your take on that? Well, we see that teams are more and more balanced, and we, of course, want to improve and want to work on some of our weaknesses, and we always think there's room for improvement. That is our idea. We don't like thinking about the ones that will not be here in the future. We think it's nonsense, and we have to focus in the present, and that's it. Lorena Centra en vivo for Zit Sports. You've always been a defender, or in the case of the defenders, you mentioned that the one that is at his prime will play. Can you tell us what you value the most, the seasons in their clubs, the features of qualities of a footballer, for what? To choose the players. The one that we think is at his best. The one that I have right here went out on the first match because we thought there was someone that was in a better fitness situation than him, and then he started as a starter again. We can make those decisions. We can be wrong, but we always try to do our best. And in reality, we don't analyze one feature or one aspect. We think it is of the essence for all of them to feel comfortable, the 26 players, and for them to know that the head coach decides on each game based on their condition. Roland Suar from La Nación Más, a question for both of you. I was talking with the fan base. Some of them are outside at the door. They're making a great effort to follow you here, given the situation in Argentina. So I wanted for you to convey a message to them, mothers, fathers that made great effort to bring here their kids, Lionel, Leandro. Well, for us, they are the strength to keep up, to continue competing. We really appreciate their warmth, their companionship, and we hope that we can show that we measure up. Yes, this is a great time to see the national team. We are very proud of our victories, so I hope for them that they can enjoy watching their national team in Copa America and, of course, thanking them for their support. Alejandra Martínez for Televisión Pública y Leo Tour. Lionel, I wanted to ask if you have a game plan for tomorrow's strategy. I know you won't be giving names, but we're going to play 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. I wanted to ask if there's any particular pressure, Leandro, because you will be title defenders. Now, you're not only going after the title, but you're title holders and you have to defend it. And this another brief informal question. There was a viral about Messi being summer team or summer supporter. If you compare summer against winter, do you think that made an impact? Well, regarding the pressure, I think it's a very nice challenge. We like defending the title. We know that it will be much more difficult than the two last Copa America. So we will, I take it as such. And I am summer team. I am a summer supporter. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of that reel or post. I don't like a lot of heat nor a lot of cold, but if he prefers summer, I prefer summer. Gustavo Villarroel for Radio La Red. This is a question for both of you. The track record of Copa America, we see in the podium Argentina and Uruguay with 15 titles each and Brazil with 9. This could be an opportunity to be the top winners in the continent. Is that an extra opportunity for motivation? Yes, of course, but we're just focused on competing at the level that we are competing, and if we have the opportunity to go after the title, of course, it will be greater motivation. Yes, we're not looking at statistics. I, of course, knew that we had the same number of titles with Uruguay, but we're not focused on that, not at the beginning of a tournament. We really are thinking about playing and competing in every match, and hopefully we can get our hopes up as the tournament develops. Cadena 3, Santa Fe, Leandro Nicolás. I wanted to ask if you have, what is your level of doubt right now? And if you think after Messi being started against Guatemala and the minutes he added against Ecuador, what do you think about that starting? And Leandro, what do you think about starting against Canada? Well, I was lucky enough to start in the last two matches, but as the head coach mentioned, we are not aware of the team for tomorrow. For me, just wearing the jersey is very important, and we will take on this match with according relevance. Please allow me to answer his question. He's always here. Of course, please go ahead. Well, I have decided the starters. I don't have any level of doubts. But of course, you have to say that I have doubts. But I know what the team will be, and there's a reason why he's here. And what about the captain, how he's doing? He's fine. He's doing well. Yeah. He's happy. And we really want for him and Fideo, Ángel Di María, to enjoy. I think the world of football has to enjoy having these players. And let's not forget, it's a game. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very hot, very, very hot.